Hey guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics. It is all about classic bodybuilding here, and it is also about classic working techniques regarding bodybuilding. And that is, for example, cutting, which is what this video is all about. So I'm gonna talk to you about how to cut the most optimal way, in my opinion. So that means losing body fat while sacrificing no muscle mass. That's what cutting is all about. You don't want to cut your body weight, you want to cut the body fat and not lean body mass. Only fat so that your muscles stay intact and you will actually look bigger the less you start to weigh. That is the illusion of bodybuilding. Anyway, let's get right into this video. So, as some of you might know, I am currently in a competition prep for a bodybuilding show in a little under 6 weeks. So I'm in the middle of a cutting phase right now. And my type of cutting, which I will explain in this video, does tie in quite a lot with how I like to lean bulk. So it does tie in with the lean bulking video, in which I basically tell you that a top level of 12 body fat percentage, that is about the ideal, maximum range you should be, because then you still have a healthy lean body from which you can drop body fat slowly while still seeing the results. This video will still work for the people who have a higher body fat percentage, like 20%, but keep in mind it will go slower. It is a game of patience. I understand you want to lose the body fat quickly, but you don't want to lose the muscle mass quickly as well. It's all about the fat in this video, guys. That is the point. So, basically, a lot of people cut down way too fast. And in the process, they lose fat, yes. Body weight, yes. But muscle, yes. That is what you want to avoid, and that's what this video is all about. Now, I talked about the lean bulking video in which I explained how to calculate your calories. I will explain it in this video, but it will be a lot shorter and more to the point. But if you want a more detailed explanation, check out my lean bulking video right here. I recommend it. It's a bit long, but I do explain everything from A to Z and back. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so let's start with step 1, which is, as I mentioned, calculate your caloric needs. Basically, calculate how many calories you need to maintain your current body weight if you would be doing nothing at all. So I included in the description below 2 links to how you can calculate this. All you need to do is fill in your height, your weight, your age, and your gender. And then the equation of the Harris&Benedict Formula with those body statistics will give you your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of calories your body needs if you wouldn't be doing anything. Now step number 2, and that is to calculate how many calories you need while doing activity, while performing things. That's what we do every day. We don't sit on the couch. So what you need for this is your activity factor. I also included a link of the activity factors in the description below, so you can guess which number applies to you, to which you should multiply with your basal metabolic rate. For example, if your basal metabolic rate is 1900, you multiply it with, for example, 1.55, the result would be about 2950 calories. This is the amount of calories you need to maintain your current body weight. A lot of people like to decrease their maintenance caloric needs with 500 calories, drop it by a lot, do a lot of cardio, take a lot of fat-burning supplements and just hope for the best. You will lose the weight, yes, but at what cost? You will sacrifice precious, hard-earned muscle, and that is not what we want. We want quality lean mass to show. You will actually also be able to keep your strength up. Another downfall of cutting way too fast. You lose all your strength. Your motivation becomes less and less because you're not able to squat as much weight. Your bench press is going down. Your energy levels are depleted. My goal is to cut the healthy way. So step number 3 is to lower your maintenance caloric needs with a certain amount of calories in order to be in a caloric deficit. And that means your body will burn more every day than you ingest, than you consume, which means it has to burn calories from within to meet your caloric demands. What I like to do is not drop it by 500, but drop it by 250. So in our example, we had a caloric needs of 2,950 calories, and dropping it with 250 equates to 2,700 calories to cut down. Now this looks a lot like the lean bulking video where I upped the calories with 250, and for good reason. And that's exactly what I want to do here. You don't want to do anything too extreme. You don't want to cut down too fast. So start with decreasing it with 250 calories for step number 3. Now it's time for step number 4, which is the cardio. This is also an important part of the cutting process because it involves a lot of aspects. First of all, you want to see success. And success of a cutting phase is losing consistent weight over a certain period of time. So every time, for example, every Sunday morning you get out of bed, you weigh yourself, and you see the number drop by a certain number. And that's what you want, consistent results with cutting. Now, the problem is, in reality, this doesn't happen. Why? People put all their resources at day 1. And guess what? The body adapts. Oh yes, it does. If you pull out all the stops right at the start, guess what happens? Your body will adapt to all of it. Your metabolism slows, your body goes into protective mode and keeps onto all the fat. You want to start doing cardio, yes, right from the start, but start going easy about it, right? So what I mean by that, for example, you work out 5 times a week, start out with doing cardio once a week, except for legs. You don't want to do legs and cardio on the same day, at least not post-workout. For example, on a back day, which could be a Tuesday, you finish your back workout and then do 20 minutes of cardio, 130 beats per minute, your heart rate. That's the optimal fat burning, level for most people. Fat requires a lot of oxygen to burn. If you go too fast, your body will burn carbs and protein rather than the fat, because the fat simply requires more oxygen to burn, that you will not be able to keep up with the demand of the oxygen in your body. But if you go slower, you are. And what is important to realize is that you have to keep tracking your progress. So get on the scale every week on an empty stomach in the morning, weigh yourself, and you should weigh around 250 to 500 grams less than last week. And 500 grams is the absolute max, because I keep in mind that, of course, some moisture, some water weight could be lost instead of purely fat, because losing 500 grams of fat, if your body fat percentage isn't that high, is pretty a significant number actually. So you don't want to keep it too high, but you do want to see the progress every single week. So half a pound or 250 grams, around that area, that's perfect in my opinion. So the first few weeks go by, you eat your 2,700 calories, you calculate everything, decrease to 250, you do 1 cardio session a week, and then your body slows down, the fat oxidation slows down, the burning of energy, your metabolism slows down a little bit. So what you want to do is then you increase the cardio to 2 times a week. You keep repeating this process to keep the progression going. That's what I mean by not taking every option right at the beginning, because you will stall after a couple of weeks. What are you gonna do extra? There's nothing left. Now you can keep adding a little bit every time over the progression of the weeks, and you will keep losing the weight. Your metabolism will keep ramping up. Your body won't be able to adapt to all the changes you're making. The only change you don't want to make is the calories. But as for the cardio, what I want to finish off with is you should do around 4 times a week of cardio post-workout, except for legs. So for example, in my own situation, I work out 6 times a week, and 2 times a week is legs. So when I'm cutting down at the starting stages, it's different for a competition cut, but you don't want to do cardio after legs, because legs require energy, a lot of energy, more than the other muscle groups. And you should recover from that first. You don't want to do too much to your body. You want to be able to recover, you want to feel good. You still want to be able to lift heavy weights, stuff like that. So once your post-workout cardio of about 4 times a week is saturated, you start shifting the cardio, adding it to the morning. That's also an option, guys. Fasted cardio. Now you do the exact same as you did with the post-workout cardio. Start out with 1 time a week. I understand for some people this is not possible because of work or school, but if you really have the dedication, you will find a way. So before breakfast, just get out of your bed, get outside, walk outside for 15 minutes on an empty stomach, and then once you're inside again, then you can start eating your breakfast. Now, as I said, just like the post-workout cardio, you ramp this up to every day of 15 minutes. Now, probably by now you've already reached your goal, right? Once you saturate the morning and the post-workout, unless you come from a higher body fat percentage. That's also one of the reasons why I don't like being too high. You don't have to go too deep. You don't have to go too deep with the calories. You don't have to go too deep with the cardio. But if you have to, of course, you can lengthen the cardio sessions. And the max I would do is go to 30 minutes post-workout and only use the elliptical, because that'll burn most of the calories, move your arms and your legs. And in the morning, boost it to 20 minutes. And also brisk pace, guys. Don't just walk outside slowly, a brisk pace. Keep those 130 beats per minute in check. So now that I got the cardio session out of the way, it is time for step 5, the macronutrients. Now, why didn't I cover this in an earlier step? Because in my opinion, a lot of people misunderstand the cardio part of the cutting. They think cardio right away, don't think about how intense or how much or how to build it up, how to progress with it. So that's what I wanted to get out of the way first. Get it in your mind to do it the right way. And now the macronutrients. Calculate these, I also explained in the lean bulking video. So I suggest you watch that if you want a more detailed explanation. Now, how to calculate your macros. First of all, we start with the protein. Now there's an easy formula for this. Either 1 to 1.1 times the pounds of your body weight, that is the amount of grams of protein you need, or 2 or 2.2 times the kilos of your body weight, and that's the grams of protein you need. So when you weigh 100 kilos, that is 200 to 220 grams of protein that you need at least to maintain your muscle mass. Now for the healthy fats, I like to have at least 2/3 of the amount of protein. I want that to be the fats. Anyway, so when you need 200 grams of protein, that is about, let's calculate, about 132 grams of fats. Now this seems high to some people, but it is not high at all. It is a perfect healthy range. Fats are important, guys. And I listed a lot of the healthy sources as well in the lean bulking video. So watch that if you want the sources of the protein, of the fats and the carbohydrates, which I recommend, which don't change whether you're bulking or cutting. So now we are left with the carbohydrates. And all you have to do is fill in the blanks. Now you have the amount of protein, which is for us in this example 200 grams, right? Times 4. Every gram of protein is 4 calories. So that's 800 calories out of the 2700 calories that we have. Now we have 130 grams of fat. You multiply this times 9. Every gram of fat is 9 calories. That is 1188 calories. So we add that together, and that is 1988 calories of fat and protein combined. Now what we have left? Now we have 712 calories left. Now every gram of carbohydrate is 4 calories. So you divide it by 4 and the result is 178 grams of carbs. This is the amount of carbs you should have. Which leaves us to step 6, meal timing. This is debunked by some, yet praised by others. I personally do believe in it, that if you eat every 2 to 3 hours, that your body's metabolism doesn't suffer. For example, if you don't eat for a long time, then all of a sudden you eat 2 to 3 meals worth in one sitting, your metabolism is not going to like that. It wants consistency. Now, of course, there are a lot of other diets, carb backloading, refeed days, stuff like that. Yes, that'll work for some people, but for the average Joe or the average bodybuilder, you should start with a regular diet. And if it truly doesn't work for you, if you don't like the results, then try those other diets. But keep in mind, this has always worked for me. So, now it's time for the last step. Step number 7. Now, if you did all the previous steps right, you probably do not need this step unless you want to cut down even deeper, unless you want it to go a little easier, feel a little better, just a little boost to your cutting phase. And that is supplements. There are a couple of fat burning supplements which I recommend, and the easiest one to start with is caffeine. Taking a few cups of coffee a day will already aid in burning more fat, ramping up your metabolism. So that is good enough. But I personally like to take caffeine capsules. So I take about 1 or 2, depending on how I feel, in the morning, of 100 milligrams of caffeine each. And then before workout again. So you've got basically 2 periods of high caffeine. You don't want to take it before bed unless you can take it, but I personally cannot really sleep when I do. And the second supplement is basically what uses caffeine first, but also a lot of herbs and other stimulants to create this thermogenic effect in your body, which means the burning of more calories because of the effect of the substance itself. Now, one example I have here is Turbo Ripper. The name says it rips you up in turbo. Well, I don't know. But it says right here, high doses of sustained release caffeine. Now that is an important note, that when you take this caffeine, it'll release over time. That's why I don't take a lot of caffeine with the capsules. Some people take 400 to 600, I take 200 at max. But if you take this, it has about 80 milligrams of caffeine per serving. So if you take it in the morning, it'll slowly taper off into the day. You don't really notice a lot of it. It has acetyl L-carnitine, green tea, synephrine, and a lot more. Now basically what this all does, and it also actually has cayenne pepper extract. Now what I recommend to do with your food is, for example, add black pepper, cayenne pepper, chili flakes, stuff like that, to really boost the thermogenic effect in your body, to really boost the metabolism. It is a small effect, just like these supplements. It is almost a negligible effect. Unless you're looking for the best possible look and for the best possible result, then every little help combined will give you great results. Now, another fat burner, this is called water cut, and the difference between this one and water cut is that this takes care of the subcutaneous water, so the water under your skin. So even if you're cut down, you might still look a little watery, you still might not be able to see all the striations you wish. This usually is the cause of too many carbohydrates still, but if you follow this plan, that shouldn't happen. But if it does happen, using water cut will also burn fat using the thermogenic effect, but also extracting excess water by using artichoke extract, green tea extract, parsley extract, juniper berry extract, all natural ingredients that are in this. So it's not something that you put a chemical in your body and something happens. No, it is simply the combination of various different herbs, plants, spices to really boost up, give your body the best possible scenario to working to lose the fat and the water. Now, those were the 7 steps to cut down your body fat. I hope I was a little clear. I hope it didn't take too long. It probably took a lot longer than I intended. But I always want to explain it the best way that I can without leaving anything out, so that you guys understand where I'm coming from. That I'm not just saying it out of the blue, but I'm saying it from experience, research, and my education also has a lot to do with it. The validation of what I say. Of course, a lot of it is because I simply experienced it myself, but I also experienced others who are doing a similar thing, and it works for them as well. But it simply comes down to logic. Alright, guys, if you have any questions about what I said, please comment down below, and I also made a timetable for this video as well. If you want to look any specific point back, step 1 to 7 are listed right in the description. The links are there as well. If you need any help, please comment down below. I'll try to answer, or you guys can help each other as well. And if you still are, doubting if you're doing it right, I'm also always available at wesleyvissers@hotmail.com to help you with a personalized nutrition plan and or workout plan. Now, we do charge a small fee for this. I cannot do it for free. Some people think that I offer this. No, I wish I could, but it's not possible because I want to make it personalized, specific to work for your needs and not just some general plan. So it's a one-time thing. It'll help you. I'm always available for questions. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay goal done. Don't forget it. There. And then what we have here is about 100 grams of broccoli, as you can see here, on a very slow heat. This was frozen beforehand, so I have the active fry on for about 30 minutes. So if you put this on low heat